another video from the truck, right? We are just arriving at the post office to pick up our first batch of hatching eggs. I'm very excited. Our Nurture Pro 360 came in the mail last week before last. And since then, I've been working on organizing with different breeders to get some eggs shipped. And I tried to time things to where both of the 12 packs would arrive today. And so we're going to see if they both arrive. I got one call, but they didn't tell me if it was 2 packages or not. So we're going to see and hope for the best. Hatching eggs have arrived. Okay. These are from Georgia. Which makes sense why they got here before the other ones did. Georgia's right around the corner. And I don't remember, sadly, exactly what breeds I got in each order. So when you do buy hatching eggs from someone who is NIPIP, what is that? Hold on, let me see. NPIP, National Poultry Improvement Plan. When they are certified by the Natural Poultry Improvement Plan, then you're going to get the report of sales and the paperwork. That's going to look something like this. You see? And it just basically has where the eggs are going, to whom purchased them, and from where they came. And then the product is marked as chicken eggs, whether they're straight run, and the certification class that's been checked for avian, and what is this other one? Typhoid. Clean. Considering what's going on in the egg world right now, that is pretty important, right? So what we're going to be doing, oh, and state inspector signature is on this. This is cool. This is really cool. So that paperwork will go in our documents. I don't know that I would need it or not. This is all new to me, but I want to be covered 100%, especially since we are we're getting into hatching our own chicks. I don't think I mentioned this yet, because when you're hatching eggs for the public as well as for yourself, you will need to keep young chickens, young hens in rotation to make sure you're getting the most eggs at any given time. And so we personally, being certified naturally grown, there are certain rules and regulations about how soon you can have a chick after its birth and still have it certified. So I wanted to be able to counter that whole complication by being able to hatch our own. Now, we do have brooders, as in the fact of broody chickens, that will brood, you know, and we have one in particular that's a really good brood. She's our Bantam Cochin Shrillix. But recently she acted like she wanted to be broody, and then she changed her mind. Like, no, I don't think so. And we have Silkies, but they've only gone broody twice. And so it's just like, it's kind of weird. So we want to have a little bit more control. In addition to that, there are some breeds that you just can't just go out to your local Tractor Supply and purchase. Going to make life easier for us to be able to hatch the varieties that we want if we can get them from reputable sources, like we did with this batch and the batch that is also on the way. So I'm going to unpack this, and I want to just show you how it came, how well it's packed and everything, because when it comes to getting eggs shipped, it's like sometimes eggs can barely make it from the grocery store to your refrigerator without getting cracked. And to think this one came all the way from Georgia. So let's look at how Harmony Farm in Helena, Georgia, let's see how they packed up these eggs. Well, the camera went dead. Not the camera, the, what's that thing called? Gimbal. Thank you. Gimbal went dead. So let's try this again. It's been charging for a little bit. So we got all this little debris, part of the packing. And then we have, ooh, foam. Looks like somebody had a ball, like tearing that up. It's packed so well. Ooh, oh no. Yeah, it's definitely from the shredder. Okay, so you're starting to be able to see the egg carton now. See it there? So I'm going to see if I can just kind of pull it out. It's going to look good. Okay, so get more of this out. Good job, Harmony Farm. Good. I was so concerned about this too. There we go. There we go. Alright. Our precious goodies. Oh, let me see. Let me set this to the side, but I'll just show you. There's more packing on the inside. Let's see. More packing in here that was securing it on the back end. So they did a really good job. And there's some newspaper in there as well. So real good job. All right. So here are our eggs. Let's get them opened. I have a piece of tape across the front there. I'm just gonna try to. Okay. There we go. They're wrapped. Like, there's a lot of care that went into making sure these got to us safely. So, looking back at our order, we have, this is a rainbow layer mix. So, I have to look back and see exactly on their website what was all included in that. But I do remember Moran's. So, there's the egg. They're in these little sleeves. Look at that. It's a gorgeous egg. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous egg. Now I'm trying to determine if they are in here pointy side down. I didn't do too well with that one, so let me do better with the next one. So it's that way. Yeah, I believe that is pointy side down. That one's even richer. A richer brown. Okay, so we are at the point where we have 12 of 24 eggs already here. The second set should be here tomorrow. And so I want to be able to go ahead and start this tomorrow night. Saturday morning at the latest. So I'm going to go ahead and open and get it going so that when the eggs arrive, we can let them sit for a moment. 12 to 24 hours, I think, is what was recommended. And then we'll be ready to go. We decided to go with the Nurture Right 360. It had great reviews for experience. Ones that were experienced in brooding with this particular, hatching with this particular incubator. There it is. People that were experienced with hatching using incubators recommended this, but also ones that were new said that it worked really well for them. At the time that I was interested in it, it was on Amazon, and it was on sale at our local Tractor Supply. It was a little bit cheaper. I went back, I had this confused earlier. I went back and looked, and it was actually cheaper at the Tractor Supply, but there was no availability at our local Tractor Supply or any of the surrounding ones. So word has gotten out about the Nurture Right 360, about its ease of use, and it does have some quirks, but for the price point, it is it's good. So I did spend probably about $5 more than I would have if I would have waited for it to come back in stock at Tractor Supply. Then again, the sale only lasted for a short period of time, so I think the sale gave you like $10 off. So we're gonna go ahead and get this unboxed, and I've looked at so many videos, and so it's like, oh my goodness, every layer that I pull off, I get more and more excited about what is happening. Like, I can't believe that in our journey as a farm family, that we are here at the point where we are buying eggs and getting them shipped to our home, and we're going to be incubating them ourselves, watching the process, learning the process, and just like completely sustainable. This is where we're headed, and I'm just like so excited about it. So this first batch that we're doing, I thought, well, let me just do some of our own eggs right now for this first batch and give you a little backstory. And then I decided, well, I was able to find some that were not very costly online, even with the shipping in some of the egg groups on Facebook. It wasn't ridiculous. And some of these are crosses or mixes, and I'm okay to start with that. By this time next year, I hope to be a little bit more experienced, and I hope to continue doing this process, probably like every 3 months, to get the hang of it. And of course, we don't need that many chicks. This holds 22, I believe. We don't, and then, you know, 22 may not hatch, but we have friends and family and community that are also looking for chickens that lay beautiful eggs as well for their homestead. So we can sell those or give them away or whatever. But with each batch, we will attain some experience and knowledge, and we will create our own data as to how this works for us in our home, our humidity, in our temperature, our climate, in our particular zone. So personalized data for us. By this time next year, I will feel more comfortable spending a pretty chunk of change for some of those heritage breeds that I've seen. Also, I would really like to get some showgirl silkies. They are just so stinking cute. Oh my goodness, they're adorable. And I would love to be able to create my own line of silkies from what I'm able to hatch out. This is a process. Breeding is not something that happens overnight. Well, technically it does. But creating breeding lines does not happen overnight. It does take time. So, okay, let's get this out. I'm gonna drop it. So that's what we have. Put you in there. This is, okay, that's the power cord. That's the egg turner, the white thing that's kind of moving up and down. Okay. I have a power supply for, I guess it's 2 different power supplies, one for the egg turner and one for the actual machine. I got it. Let me look at these instructions. Yeah, 2 different power supplies. Okay. And what else do we have here? It's got quite an interesting look to it. Like it looks like a science project. And these are those water containers that I've seen so much about. People have had a lot to say about these, so I'm hoping things are not as crazy as it seemed. Alright, so these must be our power supplies. That and confused. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna read the instructions for sure. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, we have this clearly plugs into this, but I don't see a power plug or anything for the egg turner. So here we have it. This is our Nurture Right 360. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to just go over these instructions again. I may even go back to some of your beautiful videos of those who have already done this. Video is just my journey of doing this, and later on, as I become more experienced and more confident, I'll likely do a video showing this process, giving instructions. So this isn't an instructional video. This is not a tutorial. This is a journey, and thank you for coming along. So I'm going to go and read this particular set of instructions, and I'll bring you along at key points and key intervals. Okay, so we are set up and running. We are already at 90, or fluctuating back and forth, 95.5 to 96 and 35% humidity. We have our distilled water. We filled up water pot A, and oh yes, we also tested the egg turner. I'm going to show you just plus and minus, hold down both simultaneously, and it just verifies that your egg turner is working correctly, or working at all. One of the complaints, 2 of the complaints that we got when we were fielding out this particular incubator was, 1, the thermostat and the hygromonitor, is that how you say that? The thing that measures the humidity is not always accurate, so it's beneficial to have an additional one. And so we purchased one, a mini hygrometer with a thermometer on it, so it's all in one. There it is. Oops, that's upside down. There we go. So it's saying that the humidity now in the house is 49% and the temperature is 74.6, which makes sense because our thermostat is set on 72, but I just closed the vent closest to where this table is set up, which is by my desk, between my daughter's desk and my desk, and we are perfectly fine with that because the air is generally pretty forceful coming through that vent and it's very chilly. I'm sitting at the desk doing schoolwork or blogging, whatever the case may be, and you're just freezing. So this is all set up now, and now that I've shown you, oh, the other gripe, let me tell you that. One of the ladies that we ordered eggs from said that this could be a pain to close and to make sure it's closed. And I get that, because you can see here, see, it's not closed, and I thought it was closed earlier. So you got to really pay attention to that to make sure it's closed, because if it's not, you're losing heat, and obviously your humidity and temperature are going to be off. So I'll have to pay close attention to that, making sure that it's closed properly. So what we'll do is we'll put this in. Sit it somewhere out of the way. Ultimately there will be eggs there, but for now there's not, so I'm not concerned that it's sitting there. And then it's going to take both hands to make sure that this is closed properly. But this is our setup. This is going to run overnight. The temperature is now up to 96.5. It was fluctuating between 95.5 and 96. And the humidity is at 31. But again, it's not completely closed. So I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to let it run throughout the night. And then check it in the morning and see if it's maintaining at 99.9 and at least 55% humidity. Stay tuned. Okay, so there was a little bit of confusion today on Friday to pick up our second order of eggs from 3 Trees Farm. And when I checked the tracking number that the farm gave me this morning, it said it was out for delivery, and I was like, oh no. Just imagine my poor eggs riding around all day in that thing, and I just wanted to be able to pick them up to take away any further chances of them being damaged. So I was like, why are they out for delivery? Oh well, I'll just wait for the mill to run. And then about an hour before the mill usually runs, I said, well, let me just check and see what it's saying now. Then it said, delivery attempted, held at post office per customer request or something like that. And I was like, oh, I bet it was at the post office the whole time, because mill hasn't run. Nobody's attempted to deliver them. It must just be their system. And sure enough, that's what it was. When we got there, they had a hard time finding them, because although they were marked fragile, they weren't marked as eggs. And this particular post office, they separate their pickup items by kind of like what it is. And so they put like live items, chicks, eggs in one section, and they put other fragile items in another section. So it wasn't with the eggs, so it took them a while to find it. We finally have them. I'm so excited. So we're going to open them. I see I already unzipped the side. We got some bubble wrap here. I love the color. Okay, we got another box. I was smelling something. Looks like we got something that's happened here. Something has happened. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what in the world? Alright, I have to stop and get photos of this so I can send to, this is very disappointing, to send to the farm so they can see what's going on. Be right back. So I decided to just use my daughter's phone to record pictures and continue to record. Alright, so I can't tell where this is coming from, but this one here appears to be intact. Just figure out which one is cracked. Oh, I bet it's this one. Yep, that is completely empty. All this livelihood is that is completely empty. It's like this is a mess. Oh, one egg can make such a mess. I don't know if that's the only one, but we'll see. Double check these after I take them out of the wrappers. Beautiful color. Beautiful color. It is also intact. I think there were extra eggs in here. That's another pretty egg too. I just love some of these egg colors. Are just like so nice. And that's what I really want. I want to add some more variety to our flock. These are pretty ones. We've gotten some like this a couple of times. I think it came from the Will Summers actually. Yeah, I do believe that was the only one. One egg could cause that much mess and stink that bad. It's hilarious to me. Unfortunately, one of the whiting true blues is also damaged. You can see there, cracked. Okay, it is finally time to start our incubation process. Our Nurture Right 360 is sitting at 99.5 and 55%, which is perfect. Both batches of eggs, we have that set, and I have another set on the shelf here below me. And between the two, I didn't quite get my math right. There's actually 24 eggs, and so I'm gonna have to discard 2. So that's going to be difficult because all of these eggs are so beautiful, and obviously I wanted them all. I was hoping that one of our hens would be broody right about now, and I will check for the next couple of days since these eggs will still be good for a minute, and see if anybody is, and if so, I'm sure enough going to stick those other 2 eggs up under that broody hen. So it's the next morning, and I'm coming out to check eggs, and I have 2 hens sitting in a box, same 2 that were sitting in here yesterday, and I do believe we have the blessing of broody hens. So I was trying to make a deal with them. What do you say you let me have those eggs that are under you, and I give you some other eggs? Does that sound like a deal? What about you? Is that a deal for you? Do you think that'll work? Well, one of you make this deal with me. It's a good deal. But it is. I believe she is telling me no. And I don't know if she's actually broody, because usually they don't get up that quick. I didn't even touch her. This one, on the other hand, this one, ow, bad girl, ow. We are definitely broody. I'm gonna bring you some eggs, okay? I'm gonna bring you some eggs, and I'm gonna take those that you have under you, okay? I'll see you in a few minutes. Get your head back in there. I did unplug the egg turner since I could verify that it was working fine, and it kept moving, and put that back here. It was moving, and it was moving the thermometer, and at one point I was confused because I couldn't find the thermometer, and I was like, what's going on? It was way over here. My egg turner is clearly working, so that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug the egg turner back in now. There we go. And then we'll just test that that's working. And it is. All right. So I have already filled water pot A with some distilled water. And I am gonna go ahead and remove the lid and start getting our eggs placed, and then just basically I'm gonna determine which eggs I wanna, the 2 that I wanna keep out. And some of them are larger than others, and as you can see in the egg turner, you know, every spot is not exactly shaped the same, so larger eggs may not fit in certain spots, so we may have to play a little Tetris here, but we'll get it together. Okay. Let's see if I can rearrange this a little better for vision purposes. There we go. Let's put that there. This here. Okay. So we'll start with our first shipment that we got from Harmony Farm. may or may not. This one is huge, like humongous, like, and that other one there is too. That's why I chose, you know what? I'm gonna put this big one in there and hope for the best. All right, so that left us one from Harmony Farm. And now we have the batch from 3 Tree Farm. And it was, like I said, there was extra in there. So I kind of have it sitting funny. Let's see if I can show you this without dropping anything. Ooh, yep, can't do that. Almost lost one. And it was like the prettiest egg, almost the prettiest egg in there. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I showed you already. You've already seen it. So even though it's not focusing, this is that really pretty egg I had sitting on top. I'm going to hold off on that one. But like I said, all of these Morans I definitely want to do. That one's really dark. I know I'm keeping that. These two are kind of close. I'm gonna take these two out. Yeah, I'm gonna take those two out. I'm just gotta do it. Just gotta do it. Y'all know I'm gonna be praying tonight about these eggs. Not only do I not want to waste my money, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste life, you know? Alright, so I'm just checking now to make sure I've got them all pointy side in. It looks like it. Yeah, looks like they'll all be able to move pretty freely, even though some of them are a lot chunkier than others. I want every last one of these to hatch. And then I want to have the problem of trying to figure out what to do with them. I want that problem. That is a problem that I want. We know that's not going to happen. If I got 100% hatch rate out of this, I would just, I don't know what I would do. Probably scream, and I would be screaming with you. You would see it. It would be a mess, and it would be crazy. But it would be an awesome blessing. Out of these eggs, the ones that I am the most excited about are the Morans. I really like the dark color that they have, and I really want to be able to add that color to my egg displays. And we've even gone to using these clear cartons to where when we're at markets, our customers can see their eggs clearly and be able to inspect them for cracks and whatever without having to open them. So, and a beautiful egg display just really adds to your table. And I know what's inside is going to still be good, whether the egg is brown, pink, white, whatever. But for me, it makes me happy and brings me joy to see all of the different colors all mixed in together. Just like I like to see all people of different colors and shapes all together. And it just brings me joy. So variety is the word of the day. So after this hatch, depending on the results, I will be doing some hatching of our own. I want to try to hatch out some more silky chickens to add to our silky flock. And then I want to be able to purchase some showgirl silkies just for pleasure, not for hatching, but I just think they are so stinking cute. Oh my goodness, I love them. And so that's something that just brings me happiness. It's not for sustainability of the farm in any way. It's just make Sheena happy. I'm putting this here. Will that stop that from turning? Okay, that looks like a good spot. That's where I'm gonna put it. Now, there is a notch. There's a notch right here on this thing. And I was told, I really appreciate it. This one of the, gosh, I can't remember which one now. Both of the farms have been really, really helpful. Like, I've been so fortunate to get like really great people on this first time purchase for our eggs for hatching. But one of them did tell me that these notches on this thing, on the nurture right, was her biggest gripe. She said that it really can be difficult to close, and oh my gosh, she is so right. But because of that, I don't have to worry about losing humidity. I already knew to look for it. And yeah, those things are discussed in the instructions, but it just means a whole lot more, and it's different when you have someone that is experienced and they're talking you through the process, and they're telling you, hey, this is what you need to look for. Hey, this is the issues you're going to have with this particular incubator. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself if this fails, because, you know, it's going to be okay. You know, it happens. It's not your fault per se. It's just the sensitivity of what you're working with. So, and also another one said, you know, in nature, the eggs are tossed around a lot and all kind of random things happen. But guess what? We still get chicks. So, and that's so true. That is so true, because our second hatch, the chicken, she would leave more often than I thought she should be. And I was like, these eggs are not going to hatch. They did. And they are beautiful birds right now. So I took a step back and listened to that. And I was like, you know what? There's some accuracy to that. So right now, our temperature is sitting at 82.5. And the humidity is at, I don't know why the humidity is at 65, but it is. I'm going to come back and check this in a little bit. When we were adjusting the temperature without the eggs in there, it needed to be a third of the way open, the window here on the front that helps you control the humidity, to get it up to 55. But it could be that with the eggs in there, it's higher temperature. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time to acclimate to the eggs being in there, and then I'm going to come back and see where the humidity is before I go to bed tonight. And then from there, I'll determine whether to open this or close it anymore to adjust it. So a little bit of information on what we're going to be doing and when I'll be coming back and checking in on this video. Today is March 4th, 2023. We're going to count this as day 1 as of 8:35 p.m. Okay? Then on day 5, which will be day 8, we're going to do our first candling. And at that point, we should be able to see some blood vessels, kind of like spider veins, according to my research, that we should be able to visualize in these eggs. The nurturite does come with a, I'm going to get you up a little bit. It does come with a candler that's here. I'll just cut it on so you can see how bright, well, let me go this way, bright it is. Oh, hold on. Let me cut off some lights. Okay, Google, turn off dining room light.
All right, turning 2 lights off.
So you can see it a little better now, how bright it is. And when we actually do the candling, I'll, of course, have all the lights out so we can see together if we're having any of those spider vein developments. And if we're not having it necessarily at that day, it doesn't mean that the egg isn't developing. It could just be a little slower. So I'm not going to discard any eggs at that point. By day 8, though, we should be seeing at least some veins. And on those that are developing, we should see an embryo already. That'll be March 11th. On day 13, the egg should be full. When we go to candle, we should see just kind of like a full blackness. And then our hatch day will be on the 24th, and our blackout will be on the 22nd, which is our 19th day. So, lockout, not blackout. Blackout is for microgreens. Oh, my brain. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so our lockdown day is day 19, which is March 22nd, and our hatch day is day 21, March 24th. So, before March is over, and right after the first day of spring, the week that spring begins, we should be hatching our very first chicks here at Olle Gardens. So stay tuned. And again, this isn't a tutorial video. It's informational, and it's just you guys come along on this initial journey. Once we get more experience, we'll be more than happy to put out a tutorial video for you. Just kind of walk you through the steps that we did more in depth, more detailed, so that if you're feeling a little nervous about doing this, you'll have a little bit more confidence. And there's already so many good videos on YouTube. I'll link some of those that we've looked at and that we've gained very useful knowledge from. I'll link those in the description. But stay tuned and enjoy the journey. See you next time. You know, I'm so glad that I remembered. I need to reset the clock timer because it is counting the days from the time it was started for the 21 days, so the countdown. So I need to set this back, and I will do that by pressing and holding the menu and the minus button for 5 seconds according to the instructions. Okay, so I need to use both. Okay, got it. Okay. Yay, got it. It really did have to use one finger from one hand and another finger from another. It just wasn't possible with one hand.